Hey friends, it's Ashley and today I'm here with a new layout for Hip Kit Club. I am using the July 2019 kits and I am also using our Friday sketch, which you'll see here in just a second. And I flipped the sketch. I didn't use it as is. You can see that it's horizontal in design here and I flipped it to be vertical. And I'm also doing kind of a celebration layout. My niece had a birthday party and it was a mermaid themed pool party, and so I thought this kit kind of went perfectly with the photo, and I decided to do some stars for that kind of little square area that was in the background of the sketch. So I just cut these, just a simple star shape on my Cameo, and they're all the same size, and I'm just kind of arranging them in that same way that they are laid out on the sketch. So I'm going to use my tape runner here to get all of those down in place. And once I do that, I'm going to take it off camera to add some stitching through each of those stars. I just wanted to have a little bit of extra texture. So I'm just going to get all these in place, and I kind of tried to mix them up so some of the yellows were in between the pinks so the same colors weren't touching, just so you give it some variety and make it look a little bit different. And I like the way the colors from the kit kind of go with my photo. The photo does have some teal, but I brought in a lot of pink and yellow and just a little bit of teal on this layout. Since I'm going to put my photo over the stars, I decided to pop it up a little bit with some dimensional foam, and I just added that right behind my photo and placed it there in the center. And I want to start embellishing. I'm going to use a lot of the Pink Fresh Studio embellishments that are included in the kit. And the stars were also cut from one of the Pink Fresh Studio pattern papers. I like to look through the ephemera packs and kind of pick out things that I think will coordinate with my layout. Sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't. I just kind of pick things that I think I might want to use and just set them aside. So I got those there, and I wanted to add some paper strips on the side of the layout to kind of mimic like the little label shapes that are on the sketch. So I just cut two of those, and one I cut a little bit bigger than the other just to have some variety. And I'm just going to put those along the sides. And once I get everything finished, I do stitch those. I don't do it on camera just because it's easier to do that since my sewing machine is off to the side. So I do stitch those also. But I wanted to create some clusters, and so I decided to use this kind of round ephemera piece, and it says Everyday Happiness. So I overlapped it, and I'm going to trim that, and I'm going to use the excess piece on the right hand side of the layout. And when I initially kind of had the idea for this layout, I was going to do the title The Birthday Girl, but I really liked this word beautiful that's included in the Pink Fresh ephemera, so I decided to make it Beautiful Birthday Girl, which fits also. And I really like these stickers. They're gold, kind of matte finish. And I like the font. The lowercase letters have kind of shorter little pieces. They're not really long. I would call it stubby. That's what I would refer to it as. So I really like the way that it looked, and so I used these letters to spell out birthday girl. And so I'm just going to get that there really quick. And I like the contrast of the gold letters with all of the pinks and yellows. I think it looks really pretty. So now that I kind of have my title, I'm going to go back to embellishing, and I want to have kind of a bit of a diagonal design around the photo to add some embellishing. So I'm going to go through the exclusive ephemera pack in the July kits and kind of pull out some black and white pieces and kind of things that will coordinate with my layout to create those clusters there. And I kind of did like a less is more approach on this layout. Normally I do a more is more approach, but kind of what you see is going to be the main kind of final design. Everything's going to be clustered around the photo, and then I'm going to have two embellishment clusters on each side of the layout. So I didn't go super crazy with this one. I kind of liked the way it looked, a little bit more simple, just having the stars in the background and having my photo in the center. So I decided to keep this one a little more simple for me anyway. So now I'm grabbing some things to add to that other corner there at the top left to kind of balance out those clusters. And I really like these little leaf shapes. I always like to add those anytime I do a flower cluster. And I did go back into the Pink Fresh Studio ephemera and got out a couple of other floral pieces. I thought those would be pretty in those clusters there on the side with the little circles. So I did go back and grab some of those. And then I felt like I needed something at the top to kind of balance out the design. So I went with this word joyful. It's great for kind of a birthday. And I liked that it coordinated with the colors. It had that soft pink and the yellow, so that kind of went perfectly. And then I always love phrase stickers. There's a phrase sticker pack in the July kits, and it's from Pink Fresh Studio. So I just chose a couple that say a favorite memory, and I used another one on the other side that says how sweet this is. And I just kind of like to build up those clusters so they're not just plain and look like they're kind of just stuck there. So I also wanted to incorporate some of the little enamel dots that are from Pink Fresh Studio too, just to add a little bit more dimension to those clusters. And then that little pop of teal, like I said, I had a lot of yellow and pink going on, but I knew that there was that little puffy sticker that said happy thoughts, and I thought that was perfect for a birthday layout. And I kind of overlapped it on my photo and it was hanging off a bit, so I decided to add some of that dimensional foam just to keep it from getting pressed down and sticking to the paper, since I wanted it to kind of have that dimension to match the way the photo was. So I'm going to add my date to finish things off here, and I'm just using a date stamp that I have in my stash to do that. And that finishes up my layout. I hope you enjoyed watching and that you got some good tips for using your July kit. Thanks so much for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.